Welcome to Norfolk Perspective City Slice. I'm Bob Batcher. These are really special times that we're in, and an opportunity for you and everyone else in the community to kind of get involved and make them even more special for the city of Norfolk and our residents. It's not somebody's job to make us grow as a community or define that community, but it's a way of defining quality of life and what you all can participate in. We've got two very special guys in the sofa, though, who are kind of living and breathing about how to change that times and how to get people involved. And I got Chief Michael Goldsmith. It's got down here, I got to say, Norfolk Police Department, but it's kind of obvious. And James Rogers, Director of Neighborhood Development, City of Norfolk. Not as obvious, but a lot of people say, I know him, he's been around. He's one that will do anything that needs to be done to get the job done.
That's it.
I got to tell you that. And that, James, that's from setting up the projector before a meeting, but making sure that the community is served. But when you go home at night, what do you tell your wife your job is?
I tell her it's just that. It's to get it done. And we have the city manager who is just one of those people who is really focused on how we work and interact in the community, that we're not divorced from the community. We are part of the community. So I tell her that's what I do. And so I just get stuff done. And I work with great people like the chief to help make that happen in all of the departments that we have to really just leverage and really do what we can to make it happen for the residents in the city. And
I think it's good because, we've got department names and we've got some roles and we've got the highway that people should stay on.
Right.
But the bottom line is getting the job done.
Exactly.
What I love about having a conversation with the city manager, it always starts off with, what do you think? And is it the right thing to do?
Yep, exactly.
And that's really the route that we're on, isn't it, Chief?
Yeah. Absolutely. One of the things, when you talk about, what needs to be done and the right thing to do, the ability, when the manager came up with the idea for the Department of Neighborhood Development and was able to actually put meat to the idea of neighbors building neighborhoods, the natural partnership that occurred between the police department and James's group it was almost organic, the way it took place and the synergy that's been built between our community resource officers and his neighborhood development specialists. So, this was the right thing to do. I think we've gotten a lot out of this partnership in just a short time that James's group has been in existence.
And yet that work really has been going on for the last several years.
Right.
Of people, the work being people kind of sharing with each other what the job should be. Okay, I want to go back about 2.5 years ago, maybe, a little over that. You get a phone call. I don't know, did you put your application in for this gig?
I did.
Okay, so you put your application in and said, well, maybe not, they'll call me. Career police officer.
Right.
And your core training was what? As a police officer?
Well, it was in a lot of things, Bob, but, I worked a lot of different places, but I will tell you, when I was hired in 1989, community policing was just beginning to sweep the country in police departments. So a lot of, at least my initial foray into this with the Norfolk Police Department, it was really centered around community policing. I can remember, after I graduated from the academy, we sent everybody to community policing school. I was lucky enough to be selected as one of the first community policing officers out in East Ocean View. And really, we were just kind of experimenting back then, trying to figure out what would work. And then we get folks like Judy Hash involved, who was, probably
tiny little guy. She was a little.
Oh, absolutely, but the best at getting this part done and doing the problem solving and figuring it out, and really set the model for us. And our CROs, our community resource officers, all worked through that. And again, with James's group, so that that was kind of my upbringing in policing, was the community policing model.
Okay.
There was no traditional policing being taught then.
Right. Now, but let's be frank. A lot of times, you're driving up Granby Street, you see the red and blue light. What do you think? John Q. Public.
Right. It's it's a cop out there doing enforcement, and could have been me, or if it shows up in your rearview mirror, you always get apprehensive. And that part is just part of what we do. The core law enforcement function is never going to go away, but what's added to that is this need to get into the neighborhoods and do the community policing part.
Okay. Now, there's been one program after another. And what's really been cool the last couple of years is we're not talking about a program, are we?
No.
I mean, PACE is still, when I say PACE, what do you think? It was a program.
It was a program.
And the E stood for?
Enforcement.
E now?
No. This is more about, what I love about this is it's truly a community-centered project.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the police department coming in and doing anything. It's not James's group coming in and doing anything. It's us talking to the community, figuring out what the community wants, and then figuring out how we assist them in getting to the place that they want to be.
James, I know one time you and I were in the neighborhood, and it was at an event, and a police officer was coming by on a Segway, and we overheard a gal say to her little girl, you know, that's the enforcer. How do we go about changing that?
You know, I think if we fundamentally look at what the city manager is really trying to do, and the chief and I are really just trying to articulate that as we go out. You know, one of the fundamental things he said to me when I took the job was, again, we value every neighborhood. We value every person in the neighborhood. And more importantly, we treat everyone with dignity and respect. So that's really where the chief and I come from. We sit down at these tables with residents, and it's that lens that we look through and say, okay, we value your opinion. We want to listen to what you have, because again, you may come up with some idea that we have not thought about. And so once we look through that lens, we don't have our own taint on it or spin on it. We just say, we value what you have to say. We're listening to what you have to say. And more importantly, what we're going to do is take that, and if we combine it with some resources, then we can put some action and do some problem solving around it. So that's what really excites me about this work.
So your conversation starts with,
yes,
what do you think?
Yes.
And is it the right thing to do?
Absolutely.
Okay, yes, but let me start this that way. Okay, so you guys are focused on it, so I can sit back, relax, and not worry about it then, right?
No, everyone has to work at it. Everyone has to work at it.
Yeah, whose job is it?
Yeah. It's everybody's job, Bob. When we go to talk to a neighborhood, or a neighborhood solicits assistance from us and we go in there, the first thing we have to make them understand is this is not, we can't come in and do something for you. This is a partnership, which means that both sides have to come willing to work. And that includes the community piece. So, I think that's, when we start talking about, trying to start in the middle, I think that's where the real genius of this is. Communities that are already showing some strength, that are trying to get there, that's a place where we get a real big return on our investment, because they're hungry for it, and they work very hard to do their end of the work.
How do you go about starting to get an understanding of the other person's role? I mean, if you can bring people to the table, right?
Well, I think it starts with listening, and I mean really listening to them. You have to understand what their perspective is. You have to understand what they're living with in their community. I've talked about it, time and time again. Police departments will have a tendency to get into this medical model of police delivery, where we'll go in and we'll make a diagnosis and we'll think that's what we need to do. But when we talk to the community, they may have a different perspective on it, and they may want us to do different things. And it's kind of up to us to be flexible enough to make those adjustments when we can, to deliver what the community expects.
In pre-tape, I used the term bad guy, good guy, bad guy. I mean, let's face it, a lot of the public perception, and I've been the first one to say, what I know about police work, I learned on TV. And the white hat, black hat thing. But it really isn't a good guy, bad guy thing, is it? No. It's, we do what we have to enforcement-wise to protect public safety. And that, like I said, that's a core function that we're always going to fulfill. But we always have to understand that these are human beings that we're dealing with. And human beings find themselves in all kinds of different circumstances and situations. And, part of the goal of what we're trying to do with our officers in this community policing model is let them understand that you have to approach this as you're dealing with another human being that has a level of dignity and respect that any human being should be afforded. And that's what we have to look for. Okay. Now, I got to tell you, there's some rumors floating around here. Because there's a lot of people watching this that remember you as a wrestling coach. and they think they know you, right? They think so. But it is that kind of relationship. I mean, this is your town. Right. I understand you're picking up basketball now? Is that true? Yes. Well, I'm not coaching, and I'm not playing. Or are you serving? I've played volleyball with this guy. Yes. He's rough on the court. Yeah. But I understand you're serving hot dogs? Yes, we are. What's that got to do with police work? See, you thought I was going to lead to calling you out on basketball, but I heard you're a pretty mean hot dog consumer.
Oh, yeah, well, there's not much I don't like. I will admit that I am fond of hot dogs.
I know he likes pizza.
You got it. And that's during the cold months. That's where we're going to go to pizza.
But what's the food got to do with it? I
Well,
mean,
you know, it's just part of the to get the people to the table. But I guess I keep want to go back to that strain of what we're talking about. What we look at, and the chief and I just do it all the time. We say there are strengths in these neighborhoods. Let's find those strengths and build on them. That be it assets, the people, the leadership there. We find those leaders that are strong in those communities. Those are the folks we talk and we build on that. So again, we don't think there's anything you can throw away in a neighborhood, or we look at everything. And so that's the important piece for us. That's why these conversations that we have at these tables are so fruitful for us. We come back, we build a level of trust among us. They get more dynamic each time. And then now you have a relationship. So it is not so hard for someone to call the chief. And he'll give them their card with his phone number on it. They can call him and say, Chief, this is what's on my mind. Or James, this is what's on my mind. And that's how you build a relationship, just like you would do anywhere else in your own personal relationship with your neighbors. We do that just on a bigger scale, that's all.
let me ask you to go to a smaller scale.
Yes.
One last question. It's 9:30 at night. Son wants to run out in the street.
Yeah.
And he says, Mom, times are different. I ought to be able to go. What advice do you have for that mom?
Yeah, I think that, it is up to parents to parent their children and do what they are comfortable with and what they think is safe. I will tell you that, the majority of the city is safe. We have had declining crime rates, declining violent crime rates, and that is in large part due to the citizen involvement that we've been able to get in trying to help us out in doing that thing. But, parents got to be parents. It's what they're comfortable with. I can tell you, I am my children's worst nightmare because, they know Dad is strict. And my daughters accuse me all the time of scaring boyfriends off. But, it's kind of my job.
That made my day one day when my daughter said that too.
So,
You hit it on the head. It's your job as a parent,
yes.
as a family, to have that conversation in your own living room and then join us at the table in the community. Hey, will you guys come back and so we can keep this conversation going?
It certainly will.
Super. Thanks a lot. Get the conversation going in your neighborhood. Thanks for joining us.